I'll start off. All right. Hello, internet, girth gang. Everybody joining us from all over the web. All over. I'm assuming our guest tonight has brought people from the under depths, where he comes from, aka Florida. But I mean, you should see where he's live streaming from today. What kind of overlays we got? Mic check. Oh, we got an echo? Let me see. Oh, voice mod. There we go. Should be better. You know what? I don't know why this keeps doing this. I got to just get rid of this shit. Okay. There it goes. Perfecto now. Right? It's better? Okay. All right. So, we have a very special guest on the show tonight. He's live streaming from the depths of hell. All right, this is our first. Do you even call this intercontinental? I don't know what to call him. He's live streaming from you know what? You got to just see it yourself. I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. Our first guest. I'm a big fan of his visuals, a big fan of his music. And he's one of the first guests that I haven't actually personally met. So we're going to get to personally know him on the show. And let's get the walkout now. Walkout. Bam.
What the fuck am I doing here? Hey, how's it going?
Well, hello to you too.
It's a little hot here in Florida, as you can see. So I'm going to try to move around Florida. This is the city where I live in, Jacksonville. So I'm going to move around a little bit throughout the show to kind of change it up, you know?
Yes, sir. Hey, well, whatever pleases you, man. I don't want to piss off the Dark Lord or whatever kind of five horsemen of hell you are. You know, like, what's going on here, huh? You claiming your throne during this whole pandemic, or it's been?
Dude, I'm just trying to stay sane, to be honest. It's crazy shit right now, but little things like this, like being here on this amazing talk show with you from hell is really nice. It really helps.
How's the connection down there, man? You got the 5G or what's up?
No, we have Elon's internet here already. We had it way before everybody else did.
Oh shit. What do you call that thing he's building in Ohio or LA? That super tunnel or some shit?
The hyperlink.
Yeah, hyperlink, hyperloop, whatever the fuck it is.
Hyperloop. Yeah, hyperloop. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
No,
Elon,
dude.
as fuck.
So is he drilling that right to you, or what's up, man?
No, he started here.
Oh.
It's not coming to us. This is where he's from. So naturally, we get everything exclusive before everything else. You know. So
okay, all right.
It's no big deal.
Steve Jobs just giving you the new iPhones, everything, baby. Let's go.
Steve Jobs too. He's also from here.
Oh man, dude. So is this where you learned your video skills too? You get these otherworldly video skills, or you know, how are you so good at harnessing these powers of the dark arts via music, via visuals?
Well, I wouldn't call my videos the dark arts. That's probably the polar opposite of the dark arts. But no, I learned it myself. Still, I could have just taken it, just gone full throttle right from the beginning. But I chose to learn it, you know, the old-fashioned way, like humans do.
YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Literally YouTube. Yeah.
Oh shit, man. So like, is that really where you learn this shit, or have you just had a knack for it your whole life and kind of picked it up along the way? You go to school for any of this, or?
No, not gone to school for any of it. Actually, I haven't gone to school for anything because I was homeschooled my whole life. But YouTube was definitely the videos. It was one of those things where I felt like I needed to level up some part of the whole thing for Swarm. I just needed to level up the music, the video. Like I needed to be able to do everything myself because like I felt like that makes it a lot more personal and a lot more pleasing. Just it makes everything more cohesive when I can do it because it just makes everything flow a lot better.
Definitely.
So I learned After Effects and all that kind of shit. And it was really, really confusing at first because I had just finally gotten comfortable with music, and then I had to learn something else. But I mean, it's my choice, and I'm happy I did because now I can do a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, like,
fun.
So the visuals are like a new thing? It's like it's after the music?
Yeah, I learned that way after. Yeah, probably like a year ago maybe is when I learned how to actually probably not even. I really started learning it probably like 7 months ago or so.
Oh shit.
And then I just learned really basic shit like, green screen stuff, and then I ended up getting, I got more interested in like the deeper side of things so now I can really take my time to make it look like I don't care or have any skill whatsoever when I make my videos.
Wow, dude, that's crazy because I've been working on video since like high school and maybe not put as much effort into like, learning it since then. But I think, just seeing that you've just now kind of like learned all that shit and executed it in that short amount of time. That's crazy because your videos are fucking hysterical. And I feel like I've heard about them like 6 months ago or whenever we started talking. It's got to be around then.
Well, I started doing like not the dumb editing portion of the videos, but I think September of 2019 was the first funny video I made, and it wasn't on purpose. I was playing in Denver on the Figure tour, and my friend Kate Sounder, who was on my last EP, she lives in Denver. She lived in Denver, and she went to show us the mountains. And we were up there in these beautiful, gorgeous mountains in the middle of nowhere. And then I'm just like, we should film a documentary of this. And then we did, and it was just so over the top, just so horrifically cheesy that, we went back home and I put it together. I'm just like, dude, this is funny. This is really funny. I should post it. And they're like, yeah, you should post it. And then like the small fan base I had, like, we're just like, dude, do more of these. And it just morphed into just this horrible, awful monster that just will never stop because it's so much fun. And it gives humanity to what I'm doing too. So people don't like look up, they're like, oh, he just thinks he's so cool. Yeah. But it's like most of my videos are making fun of myself. So it's a nice little balance there.
Yo, I honestly like really love that about the whole movement. Your whole movement is because like the music is some of the hardest in the scene, in my opinion. Like it's extremely hard. It's got a particular vibe. But you even like wear the vibe on your sleeve too. But your videos are just like the most lighthearted thing ever. So it's kind of is it something that like is it like a thoughtful? Is something that you thought that needed to be balanced out? You didn't want to come off as a certain way, or you just naturally that kind of person?
Well, I'm naturally goofy as shit. Like that's no, I don't have to try at all to do that because if I'm in a good mood, I'm just a clown. And so like that part of it is totally normal. Like now, before like the music, like I've always liked darker things. I've always liked like crazy black metal, and I've always liked industrial and basically all the most extreme music you can possibly imagine I like. But I also like, electronic. So when I started out infusing both of those, like there started to be a lot of like dark influence. I think I talked about this the other day on Twitter. Like there started to be a lot of like darker influence and vibe like artists that came out, and I just saw they took themselves so seriously, and they're just like, they'll give themselves a big backstory, and they're just like, I'm, whatever, you name it, like I'm something from X planet, like come here to make fucking EDM for you. And it's like, okay, like take your music seriously, and then honestly do whatever the fuck you want. That's fine. But for me, like I'm just like, I need to distinguish myself that I'm a human, and I have human emotions. I don't feel dark and gloomy 24/7, and while still acknowledging the dark stuff and all the mental health issues. But then then it became like a purposeful thing. It's just like I just need to completely be myself. I don't need to purposely leave out anything of myself, because when I do that, like you're not getting the full picture of who I am. So it's been really fun to just completely be myself, and it's just Brandon Carroll with a different name. That's all it is.
Do you think it's because of like age too? Maybe if like we would have been in like the metal scene or something back then, and maybe 10 years ago it would have been that's the one thing that you need to hone in on, and maybe just like having a bigger project to work on has kind of helped display that range of emotions, because your music is kind of like it's that expression, you know, and but then your video and your personality is like are totally different than that, you know. Is it you just being older and trying to express those? Would you have expressed it differently maybe 10 years ago or something?
Well, 10 years ago, I can actually answer this from experience, because 10 years ago, I was in like a metal band. And so, you know, we were goofy, and we actually, it was definitely not to the extreme of where Swarm is, in terms of like just bizarrely bipolar seemingly content, you know, like kind of thing. But like, it was definitely a little bit more lighthearted. Like, you know, we had slogans that were stupid, saying like we suck and stuff. But you know, when it comes to metal and stuff, it's kind of different. And I think that there was a lot of like lighthearted kind of, not really bullshit, but like really ironic slogans and T-shirts and all that shit. So I definitely took some of that with me with what I'm doing now. But I think it does have to do with the fact I'm older, and it's basically the way I want to be perceived. I don't want to be perceived as anything but myself. And I think that's, at the end of the day, that's all that, the reason why I do that is because, you know, I feel like now more than ever, people can just sense when you're bullshitting them. I think if they're like, somebody that just, if they label them as you're trying too hard, or you're, you know, that doesn't seem authentic. I think that is I think it's probably the worst thing to get labeled. And, you know, people are going to label you whatever they want regardless, but I just want to be myself, because I can sustain being myself indefinitely. And I don't have to pretend to do anything. So I just, you know, and nobody else, like there's not too many people that will have like serious as a heart attack music that's, you know, attacks so many things, you know, like personal issues of mine, and just has such a dark theme that just fucking completely counters it with bizarre comedy. Yeah. You know, so that's just who I am. So I think it does have to do with me. I just want people to see me for who I am, and I think they'll appreciate it.
100%. Well, dude, I did right off the bat too, you know, and then the deeper I dig into the music, I got more questions, and I think that's an interesting part of, you know, an artist too. If you don't just have something on the surface, it's like, oh, a lot to dig into, you know. And I think the Instagram and social media and all that shit, it helped a lot of people do that kind of thing too, because, you know, did you have that platform 10 years ago with your band to express a lot of that stuff? MySpace, damn. And like the beginnings of YouTube.
It was probably 11 years ago now. Yeah, I didn't even really get into like even browsing YouTube until maybe I don't know, a year ago. Before that, like I just didn't really, it just didn't really seem like something I would be super interested in. Sorry, I had to move. But no, I just, the whole social media revolution, if you can call it that, you know, half horrific, half good revolution, like has really made it possible to do pretty much anything you want. And I think that's why a lot of people just kind of lose their mind, because you can do anything, and there's going to be somebody somewhere that'll probably get mad, or two, they will appreciate it. So, you know, if you're a good person and you show that, I think more times than not, it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So, especially in these days where everybody's just turning out to be a piece of shit.
It's yeah, it's like you could hide for so long, man. You can put up one of those fronts, but metal was good at like being very upfront about being against that too, you know, like almost to a certain extent where it shot itself in the foot. Everything was so like sectioned, you know, like every metal had its own like little clique, and you know, you could, oh, this metal didn't mesh with this metal, and it's like it almost kind of hurt itself in a way. But like
agreed. I mean, it's the same way with electronic music now, though. Like, you know, you have these genres that are just so like the fans of those genres will just, it's all they want to listen to. So, you know, when it comes to just like metal, dude, metal and hardcore, man, there's so many different kinds. And now that, you know, it's literally electronic music to me, especially that mostly the heavier electronic music is identical to the metal scene, except the only difference, it's just not the same kind of music, but the overall, like, rivaling factions, to put it, you know, or whatever, just like, you know, the amount of difference between the different types of electronic music is very similar to metal. And that was why I liked it in the first place. Like when I first heard dubstep, I'm pretty sure it was like Skrillex, like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. Like I was like, whoa, this is just electronic metal. Like I get it. And I loved it. And I thought it was cool. And here I am fucking doing it.
Dude.
Just took it a little more extreme than it was back then, but
hey, I mean, it needs it too. It needs to go in every direction because, like, who knows who's gonna hear your kind of stuff and be like, oh, well, this is like, I don't even know. Like, what would you call your stuff? What would Oh
God, I knew that question was coming. I have no goddamn clue. Okay, so I mean, I started, you know, with one of the first like favorite songs, and like I started with like the mid-tempo genre. Like I liked that a lot. It wasn't necessarily what it was now, and I don't necessarily care for a lot of it what it is now, because you know right now it's kind of, you know, it's a little repetitive, but you know, so can any genre of music. But I started with that, and you know, this was before 1788L was, you know, his whole rise to, you know, becoming a huge name, and this was when Rez wasn't that big, you know, nothing like she is now. I heard Rez, Drezo with his Jaded EP did a mid-tempo song. That was really the song that inspired me to even do this, for sure, because Drezo's Jaded song was just, it's still to this day so different. It's so like precisely groovy and not obnoxiously loud, and that's what I loved about it. But that's how I started. Then I just started realizing that I can do whatever I want, and so I just absolutely just went screeching off the rails into my own thing. So I don't. It's hard to, you know, it's hard to even describe what it is, to be honest. I'm not that guy like, oh, you can't put me in a box, but it's like I do whatever I want to do, but I have like a sound that I base and then, you know, branch out from. So
yeah. So like, what are some other like artists that do you have other artists in the scene that you like consider yourself like peers of, maybe? Like I know you went on tour with Sullivan King. Is that kind of more in your realm of like who you kind of?
I'd say that's a closer ballpark. You know, Sullivan King, obviously, you know, love him. He's definitely more dubstep focused. I'm not. I like dubstep, and I can definitely, you know, fit in with that type of show, because mine is like very reminiscent. It has a lot of, you know, loves and shit. But I think the Sullivan King crowd, the Keizo crowd, I hate to say it, the C word, but crossover. You know, like it's a you know, it's a everything when it's said too much just gets to be so like, I hate that word, but like, you know, it's the only thing I could really say. I don't like to consider myself crossover, but I just, yeah, that whole thing, because I do have a lot of like screaming in some of my songs. Like I had one of my, not the song that came out today, but the one that came out last month had Brooke Reeves from Impending Doom, which is like one of my favorite metal bands. Okay. So that was just a fucking joy to have them on. I'm just like, oh my God. Damn. I have the fucking tattoo of their band from 10 years ago on my elbow.
Wow.
And so, yeah, dude, it was amazing. Dude. But so yeah, I just do whatever I like to listen to be honest. But I make sure that it sounds like me. That's all I really care about. People should always be able to point their finger and be like, that sounds like Swarm. And that's all I care about. Because then I can be, you know, limitless basically in what I do. But, you know, as long as I have my fingerprint on it, I'm good.
Yeah. And like, talk about screaming. Like, is that you on the last track? The, what was it? Unbreakable? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because I
was that on my iPhone in the bathroom in Texas when I was on vacation.
No fucking way. Dude.
Yeah, I just processed the fuck out of it.
Because I was convinced it was this guy, Julian. It was Julian, and then I saw the EDM article today that said he's a guitarist, and I'm like, oh, maybe he's doing
Oh
both.
yeah, he did the guitar. Yeah, I play guitar, but I'm nowhere near as good as that dude.
Damn.
Julian, if you're watching, great job,
So you're
dude. That you
fucking
just fucking annihilated that shit.
Dude, he did kill it, and yo, you too, man. Because I thought that was like him screaming. I had no idea. Is that you on some of your other tracks as well, or is this?
I've never screamed on a song before. I've screamed like in my old, back in the way long time ago, but not with Swarm. I just try to feature people that I love, that I think need to get time, spotlight, like Julian. This is his first release, and I'm so fucking proud to be his first song. So like what he does covers of bands he likes, and he'll like do guitar over like electronic songs, and he sent it to me, and he's like, hey dude, I think you'll like this. He tagged me in a story, I think, and I'm just like, dude, fucking just destroying this right now.
What? So it happened over an Instagram story?
On Instagram, yeah. Like he did like a guitar solo over one of my songs, my old songs. This is the end, and it was just, he was just ripping it to shreds right there on the Instagram, and I'm just like, let's do a song. And then he's like, oh dude, absolutely. And then I'm just like, fuck yeah, it's nice. Send him something. He literally sent me back like a beautifully constructed part, mixed beautifully, back to me in like one day. And then I had to leave to go to somewhere to hang out with one of my friends in Texas, and so I worked on it on the road, and it was just done. It was it was so easy, and he's just so talented and super humble, and that's what I love.
That's usually the best kind of tracks too, is just when they come like quick. It's almost like you don't even remember the writing process. You're not slaving over anything. It's just nice and quick. Damn, dude.
That was one of those things. I was a little nervous about it, to be honest, because that was definitely the most I've ever deviated from having electronic bass.
How so? Oh,
it has a lot of real guitar, and it has that mainly, like, mixing organic and electronic is so that took a while, but I just had to level up my process to be able to figure out how to get it right. But besides that, man, yeah, that track it's fantastic. But it's well received, and I couldn't be happier that people let me do whatever I want, basically, as long as I'm not gonna change my style, all of a sudden. So as long as I don't do that, people seem to really like what I do, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, no, that's it's pretty dope, man, because you have a certain style, but it ranges from the remix of a Slipknot tune to a remix of like Ghost Main. So it's not like you're closed-minded in the sense of, like a purist, it's got to be even this way too. Like it's you're meshing a lot of different kinds. I mean, it might be metal or whatever you want to call it, but it's like still, it's the history of metal. It's not just one specific kind of thing.
It's just stuff I like. I love making things that I like, and that's all I care about, really, because I love Ghost Main, I love Slipknot, I love metal. Like, my favorite, I love industrial metal. That's like my favorite thing ever. So it's just, I just throw them all in a pot, and somehow it ends up sounding like me. And I'm super excited that I can do that.
Dude.
Really, really excited.
Dude, hell yeah, man. You're doing a pretty good job too, and it's giving people a whole nother aspect to grab onto with the videos. But
oh yeah, then there's that. Yeah. Thank you.
Like the you have an actual music video too, like All Hope is Lost.
All
I think
is Lost. Yeah.
Okay. And was that you as well?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me getting murdered.
No, edited and everything as well too, or
Actually, okay, so I did the color. Obviously, I did all the stuff because I was in the video. Some of the initial editing I did not do. That was Abel from Foreign Suspects. But the graphic parts, the color and the all of the like overlays that were on it, like some of it had that digital aspect to it that it needed to kind of be sort of on the web kind of feel. I did all those kind of effects and stuff for it, and then I made the song. So
damn. Yo, that one was crazy too, man. You know, just doing the research for this talk, I was like, man, that video is top notch. You know, it looks
Thank you.
crazy.
And that was it started out as something totally different, and my girlfriend was in town, Lauren, and we didn't have that at all. That wasn't the idea for the video. But then we got to like when we were gonna film, or we were like looking at the place where we were gonna film, and then like we're just like, let's do this instead. And then Lauren was like, I'll be in the video, and then I'm just like, well, you're gonna have to murder me. And then she goes, okay, yeah, I'd love to.
So is that where
we went through all the different rooms. I had that fucking mask. I have a mask up here actually on my wall because I love that video so much. So I wanted to stare at it and remember being killed mercilessly. So
is that where
it was uncomfortable.
The press photos came from too, or are you just constantly getting covered in blood?
Wait, say that again?
Is that where all the press photos came to? Because you were covered in blood in that video, and a bunch of your press photos have.
Oh no! I just like the fake blood.
Hey, all right.
But no, that's
any excuse.
Yeah, dude, any of that crazy shit. I just know what I like to see, and I just fucking figure out a way to do it. And yeah, I like blood. What can I say? What can I say?
Does that happen like happy accidents, like in the same sense with the video? Does that kind of happen with your music production too, or do you go in thinking of certain things you wanna accomplish?
It's both, definitely both. I'm just now getting comfortable with like being able to take something in the direction I want it, not just being along for the ride. You know, like usually I like to still work it in the aspect of just being along for the ride and seeing where the song takes me. But I'm definitely better with knowing how to have a more clear direction from the beginning and not just letting it do its thing. Although, you know, there'll always be that aspect, but it's definitely both. I try to, especially like if I have a vocal at first, like if I'm working on one now with my friend Sounder again, Kate, and like I know where that one's going to go. So I'm just working to make it the best version of that as I can. But some of them, like I'll just start and I'm just like, well, I'm just going to fuck around. And like I said, I thought about this the other day. It's like fishing. Like I'm just fishing every fucking day. And like I'm just, when I'm here fucking, you know, on Ableton, just trying to figure out something that sounds cool, or working with like, you know, orchestral shit. I'm just throwing the rod out, and then like usually, you know, I'm catching frogs and turtles. Nobody wants that shit. But sometimes I catch, I think Lauren said it, the big tuna.
The big tuna.
And I'm just chasing that big tuna all the time.
Damn.
Somebody's gonna fucking quote me on that. I know it. So
that's great.
I can't wait to see what fucking sound bites people pull out of this.
That's an Instagram caption if I've ever heard one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. I'll think about that. Maybe I'll just put it in a song next time. The big tuna.
Ooh, the big tuna. So you have more plans for like you doing vocals? Did you say you had a vocalist, or you're doing more vocals?
Yeah, my friend Kate, who's on my EP, the title track, sent me some incredible vocals. So now I'm working on a song to really capture what I feel when I hear the vocals. So I'm just so excited for that, but I might have to level up myself. I can already tell. Like usually when there's something I want and I don't know how to accomplish it, I'll set it aside and wait till I learn what I need to do and how to accomplish it. So I don't like put out anything that I'm just like, you know, a year down the road, hopefully I can look back and be like, I love this.
Yeah.
Instead of like, God, I wish I did that this way or whatever. So
that's fucking awesome. Like,
I got a couple of those.
Do you like have tutorials that you frequent, like certain people that you like look to for tutorials or like to learn this kind of thing, or is it just inherent?
Not really for music. For video stuff, yeah, absolutely. Okay. I have to. I don't have the same. I know what I like to see, but I don't have the intuition like I do with music to like, I wonder how I get there. Like I have to see like, okay, how do I get this? Because it's much more technical. Music is a little bit more about just like using your ear and just like, okay, this doesn't sound quite right. I wonder, let me try this. Like just fucking around and hopefully having a good, you know, figuring out how to do it. Now I have looked up like if there's a technical thing, there's like like, man, I just can't figure out why my mix is muddy. I've tried everything I know how to do. Then I'll look up, like, maybe I'll try a new side chain technique, and I'll look it up to see, like, alternate side chain techniques or something. But yeah, usually with music, I'm not watching tutorials, because when I think about too much with, like, the how-to, I just kind of usually just lose, like, the creative aspect of it. So I just try to fuck around and figure it and just do it the wrong way an endless amount of times before it's right, because I usually am not happy with it until it's actually right.
Yo, for real. Yeah. Do you like shit, I lost my train of thought. Like, do you where did you say that again?
I do that shit all the time.
I had a good one too. I had a fucking good one. But
say it again. Thank you, foreign suspects. Hey, you're in the same house.
Tuning in.
They're in the same house as me.
And you said they helped you direct that last video? The All Hope Is Lost?
From it, or they didn't direct it. Marshall on my team directed it.
Okay.
He's just so good. He has the best eye for this, like what needs to be done, like shot wise. Abel shot it and then cut like some of the more like complex scenes, like was like a really like quick to like slow-mo kind of shot, especially when I'm really just getting fucking hammered in the face. He did that kind of shit because he knew how to make it look really like impactful and shit. But I will say that I got pretty bruised up from that, because I did do all that shit. Like when you see, like, you know, my head hit the deck of that thing, like it really did. I didn't mean it to, but it did. But we kept it because, like, well, that looks real because it is real. And then like the getting thrown on the floor thing, like that was real. I was bruised the fuck up pretty bad after it, but it was definitely worth it because it looked so good, and I'm so happy with it. And then Lauren just, obviously, you know, I'm sure I've pissed her off plenty of times, so Lauren's just there just beating the ever-living shit out of me the whole video, and she's just so stoked, and I know she was.
Oh, do it for the camera, you know, make it all worth it.
Oh yeah,
why
do
not?
it for the camera. Sure.
Dude. Oh shit, man. Well, that's dope. It's dope that you got a team of people who do believe in that like vision too, because you're doing like something.
That's Lauren right there. I felt bad. No, you didn't.
There's a few arguments I'm sure you channeled in your head. You're like, I'm getting them back for this one, you know? Come on.
Absolutely.
We've all been there.
Jim says, get myself a stunt swarm. No, dude, I gotta do it myself. Gotta do it, man. I'll go all the way. I go way too hard for swarm.
You want to be hardcore? You gotta live hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. I just live by that every fucking day.
You think he just fell down into his little palace in the underworld right there? No.
Oh yeah, let me switch my places real quick. So what we got? Oh yeah.
Oh shit, he's got overlays on overlays, man. He's giving us a run for our money.
No, dude, nothing can top your shit. That's amazing.
What's amazing is we got a connection right now, live from hell.
I know, dude. No, it's Elon. Thank you, Elon. It's that new Starlink, man. He says it's from the stars, but we know differently.
Ooh, it's from underneath. Underneath the crust of the earth. Bro, you said you were homeschooled.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn this kind of shit too? Same thing, YouTube, and you just cut it off after a while, or did you have like music knowledge before this? Yeah.
Oh, music?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, not definitely not YouTube. Again, like I really haven't even watched YouTube more than like when somebody sends me a link that they think is funny. I haven't watched YouTube like more than like this last year. That's it. Damn. I don't do anything except sit here and fuck around with music, make stupid videos, or go to the gym, or eat food. Like that's just, it's so limited in that little circle. But like, no, I wasn't taught any music. The funny thing is, like I was raised religiously, like Christian, and my mom is awesome, bless her heart. And she really did a great job. But it's just super weird because she always said growing up, she's like, I know you're going to do something in music one day and it's going to be huge, and you know you're going to do this, this, and this. I'm just like, okay, Mom, okay. And then I ended up doing this. So
she
weird.
Kind of spoke it into existence?
I guess she did speak it into existence. Now, before this, and I think there was an interesting chain of events to even have it happen like this, because, you know, growing up, she said that, and I was like, okay, like I didn't know how to do anything. But how I got into music, period, was my first job. I scooped ice cream, and it was just fantastic. But there was this kid there named Steven, and he was in a band. And I grew up listening to metal and industrial, like Meshuggah, Nine Inch Nails, Rammstein. Those were all my favorite things growing up. So I'm just like, dope. Like, you're in a metal band, bro? Dope. Like, let's, he's like, hey, we're gonna have our first show. I'm like, oh, dope. I'm there, man. And I was like 16. So I go to the show, and they were just terrible. But to me though, like they're terrible, and I even thought like, man, they're not that good. But it's just like, I wanted to do that, and I'm just like, this sounds so cool. And then like, I'm just like, guys, that was so cool. Like, you guys aren't that good, but like, I enjoyed it. Like, I was just straight up honest. And then he's like, look, we need another guitar player. Do you play guitar? And I'm like, yeah, I play guitar, and I didn't. So it's like, absolutely. And so they're just like, dope. Well, in the next few months, we're gonna need you. So like, we're just gonna let you know. So I fucking saved up. I bought a guitar. I just figured it out. Like, I had a friend that played guitar, and he showed me the very basics, like not even chords. Like, he didn't even show me chords. He's just like, this is what you do. This is what you want to do. And then I literally just fucking went, like, and then there's like, hey, we need you a guitar player. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm ready. And then I went, and then I just faked the fuck out of it. And somehow I did it. Damn. Because like, for some reason, I had this natural inclination of like rhythm. Like, I had a really good understanding of like what it means to be on beat. And like, anything I liked was very simple. So the shit I made up was just very simple, but it was very catchy and groovy. And like, basically, Korn, you know how simple their riffs are, just those low note chugs? Yeah. That was me. So I'm just like, this is what I like, so this is what I'm going to make. And I did. And then I just, 2 years after it, like, I was just in the band for like 4 or 5 years. So I'm just like, two years after it, I told them, I'm like, hey guys, when I met you guys, I didn't even own a guitar. I completely lied to you. And they're just like, oh, no way, holy shit. But like, literally, that's how I got into music, is by bullshitting my way into a band. Damn. And then somehow figuring it out. And now, even now, like, I still use guitar as like the basis for my ideas. I play my synths like a guitar, the all that kind of shit. And I think all the orchestral stuff came later, but I always loved hearing that. Like, I loved Demi Borgir. Just crazy symphonic black metal is just my shit. And so that's how I'm doing this now. I didn't end up working out with that, but then I got interested in electronic music 7 or 8 years later, and I just started doing it, and somehow I figured it out.
So was that same band the last, like the one and only band? Was that your first and last band? Oh shit, okay. So that's the one that got you into all this.
Yeah, Swarm is just my first and only electronic, and it's it's gonna stay that way because like I like what I'm doing a lot.
Definitely. And it's just you. Is it like a band is, you got to wait for people to practice, you got to wait for people to show up.
Democracy. You have to, like, everybody has to agree. I don't want that shit. No. I want to be able to say, this is what I'm doing, this is how it's going to sound, I'm going to do this imagery, I'm going to make this is the cover art, this is the release date. Obviously, I'll run this by like my management, Tay and Marshall, and because they're great at like talking me down when I need to, like, hey, wait, this is not the right time for this. Here's why. But they'll still let me have my input, and they'll still at the end of the day, I have the control of it. But like, they listen to me, and I listen to them when they're like, hey, I don't think you want to do that right now. This is why. But as far as everything else, they're just like, dude, you go, boy.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, I'm sure, if you got a longtime girlfriend like you've been mentioning, she's the same way too. Just a couple little, hey, maybe not do that or this, it's point you in the right direction too.
Lauren is she's a great voice of reason, and when I have questions about something, she usually has the answer for it. But I have she sometimes will give me just a killer idea, and then I'll just take it and just ruin the fuck out of it, but it worked. I don't think she's used to dealing with the way I think of things sometimes, because I get so into things that I just lose all sense of anything else. And I think that's kind of new to her, but she's great when I need to complain about something, or just like I'm frustrated or whatever. She's awesome. she's probably never met somebody quite like me before, but maybe that's why she likes me.
Hey, you know, you do have this castle. You're a very charming young gentleman right down there. Look at this castle gates. Where does that lead to? You got any overlays for that, like a dark throne or something?
That's where my living room is. I don't have an overlay for that though.
We'll find you one. We'll find you one. You have a dungeon. Oh, ooh.
We'll go back here.
There we go.
I don't know if I watched this one yet. This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's pretty like. That's like the hell version of outside, you know, and like nice trees being amongst trees.
This isn't hell, bro. This is just Florida. Yeah, no, it's super easy. It's easy to confuse the two for sure.
Definitely, man.
I'm gonna
how's the hardcore scene over in Florida? Like, how's the metal scene and the EDM scene? Like, how's it been growing up there? You think that's had an effect, or you just had a bubble?
The metal scene was really, really cool. For Jacksonville and hardcore, like they went together so well, and they were just so there we go.
Hey.
It was huge. Like, there was a huge Christian hardcore scene. I know. Like, there's a Christian hardcore scene, which is what I grew up in, you know, being raised, you know, as a Christian. So, like, and that's how I met a lot of these bands, like, you know, Impending Doom, that these people walk the line between being, like, you know, Christian and positive and just being the heaviest shit ever. And so I was like, this is so cool. But electronic music has definitely struggled in Jacksonville, especially. I mean, my team, that's how I met Shavante and Marshall, my team. They're with We The Plug, and they throw a lot of big events here in Jacksonville. And I met them through a horrific job I was working at the time. But yeah, I just told them literally, when I first met them, I literally just started making music, and I'm just like, hey guys, like, I'm starting to make music, you know, like, can I show you? And then they're like, yeah. And then, but I'm so grateful they did, because then I got serious, and then I realized that, like, wait, I think I could probably do this, because I had like one song that I really liked, and then I had the idea for I had my friend Don made the logo. And I'm just like, I have this logo. This is really cool, you know. Then I started doing this, started understanding more about music, and then like understanding more about like what the scene, what I thought there was like lacking in it. And I'm just like, I think I could do this. So I literally called them into a meeting, and I'm just like, guys, I need to meet with you. This is really important. And I sat them down. I'm like, listen, I want you guys to manage me, okay? Hear me out. This is my logo. This is the direction I want to go. This is the music style I want to do. This is where I see it in the future. This is what I think I can do, and I think I can do this, guys. I just need you to help me out when I need it. And they're just like, okay. And then here we are, still with them. They're the best thing that has happened to Swarm. They're incredible, and I appreciate them so much. But it literally started with me having an idea, and then me pitching it to them so hardcore and so passionately that, like, they said okay when they probably shouldn't have, but it worked. And I don't know how it works, but somehow it's working.
You seem convincing, honestly. Even that little sales pitch, that must have been like a micro version of it. But I'm like, okay, dude, you got my attention.
I'm so obsessed with this everything. But that's just how I am as a person. I'm just incredibly passionate about things I like, and then things I don't like, I'm just the absolute opposite. I'm just like it's like pulling teeth to even get me to do it usually, but like that's just how it is. But I am so thankful that they listened to me, because I was definitely there literally is, looking back, there's no reason why they should have even listened to me, but they did somehow. I guess they saw this. They saw me just like, I could do this. So like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Calm down, bro.
The passion, it's magnetic almost, you know?
Yeah.
So like, you think you said your mom's Christian too, like did Christian and like the metal scene, like, did that help you get into all this? Like, is that, you think, what led you, like maybe religion in a way? Because they're like, honestly, I keep forgetting about that side of the metal, and it's like, as hard as these dudes are, a lot of it is like about God and, you know, being fucking sober and all that kind of stuff.
Right. I think it definitely had a really good influence on me, because I did have a lot of people that I looked up to that I'm just like, wow, these people they're good people. They're nice. They're nice to everybody. I definitely saw, and I also had a little bit of experience like being on stage, like because we played several shows. We went on tour once or twice. So it gave me the very preliminary, like, this is how it goes. So like when I was thrown into that, when I actually started, like when I went on tour with like Sullivan King and all that kind of stuff, and then like Figure and started flying everywhere, like that, it's easy compared to what I went through with the band, because when we would go on tour, you'd be in a van. You would be in a van with 6 other fucking horrible smelling guys, and then you would just want to die the whole time. And so now you're on a flight and you're in a hotel. Before, you didn't have a hotel, usually at all. Whoa, what is that?
Oh God,
oh,
I don't
cool.
know. Glitch out.
So it's just so much easier. So like that's why it still gets really hard, but like compared to what I was expecting and what I went through, like sleeping in the van, driving for 14 hours to go to another show, like having a trailer, driving when it's raining, like this is just like, oh my God, this is amazing,
dude. And
like that's why like if I happen to like be able to stay in a nice hotel, like a really cool hotel, I'm just like, oh my God, I fucking peaked, holy shit. And I'm so thankful for it, because I've done the absolute opposite of it so long,
Yeah.
And that kind of shit. It definitely gave me a great primer of what I was in for, and it also led me to be super comfortable on stage because I was up there all the time playing guitar.
True.
So.
Yeah, and monetarily, not even to say like you could even make it as the band too, but just having to split it 6 ways and then a manager and this, it's like, holy shit, bro. Are we kidding?
All right. And I didn't have a manager then. The band didn't have a manager then either. Am I lagging, or is that just what's happening?
You were for a second.
My screen lagged a little bit.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think so on my screen. A while ago, you cut out for like a split second, but that was it. And then it's been pretty good, I think, since then. But yeah, man.
Cool. But yeah, that's the overview. It definitely taught me a lot about what I'm doing now, and it also, the fact that I was able to fake playing guitar and then learn it for real while I was faking it, like, it definitely still affects like how I write songs. That's why I think my music's a little different, because I approach it so differently than most people do, because I think about it as a band, not as a dance song, And I think that's pretty evident in music.
Damn. And like you said, you've been sitting on these vocals too. Like, I always wondered about that, like in a band, how the dynamic starts too, because like, dude, same shit as you. I was just in a band in like the elementary school, high school area, and it was just like, oh, we need a drummer, so like jump behind there, and I just remember one fucking loop, and that's it. So
right.
It wasn't really technically a band. We never did anything that you guys did or toured or anything like that, but I had to fake that shit too, and
that's how it goes. Somehow we gotta be thrown in the fire sometimes to learn properly. And speaking of drummer, like my drummer from that band, I'm still really good friends with him. And when I played in Salt Lake City, right before all this crazy shit started happening, we hung out like the whole day leading up to it, because that was just so awesome. And me and him always got along really well, and to be able to connect with him so many years after the fact, like 8 years after the fact, even though we talked a couple times like between then, it was so cool. And now, like, he sees like where I'm going with the music and all that shit. He's just like, wow, this is really cool. And I was just like, yes, thank you.
Is anybody else doing music like you, or are you the one that kind of just took it upon yourself to keep going?
Yeah, just me.
Well, that's dope.
I mean, it took over half a decade for me to do anything with my life, but it definitely ended up there. But I think, as far as I know, I'm the only person that's doing shit.
That's true. Hey, who knows? Maybe it'll take them 2 decades. Maybe they'll be a teacher or something like that. You never know, man. It's crazy. Who knows where we're gonna end up too?
Fair.
Teaching tutorials online about fucking videos or something. I don't know, man. Who knows? But
I like this place. This is the hell forest. Here I am.
Dude, I like it too. I like that shit too, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So what did you have planned for before this whole shit hit? You have a big year plan, or?
I did.
Yeah,
I sure did.
What was coming up for you?
I was booked for quite a few festivals, a couple of which were announced. I can't say which ones they were, but the announced ones were Sunset Music Festival in Tampa, Bass Canyon, and there's one more, but there was a lot. I don't remember which ones we announced because everything's just a blur now. But there were a couple of the bigger ones that were just I was so just thrilled for. Damn, yeah, see, they're gonna go to Bass Canyon. Yeah, there was some other ones that are related to that I was gonna play too, but it's not gonna work. But next year I'll be able to.
Damn, yeah, next year, man. Next year everyone will be fiending for it too, bro. And
you know what? It's the same boat. Everybody got fucked this year. Everything's fucked. So all I got to do is just, oh, damn. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, everything got canceled. You know, I was about to go full circle. The Sunset Music Festival, which would have been 2 months ago, was my first music festival ever. And I was playing the stage that I stayed at the whole time when I was at my first music festival ever. Oh and I was just so, it was going to come full circle. I'm just like, no, it's not going to. And I was so sad, but, you know, it goes on. Everybody's in the same boat, and all I can do is just make myself better and, you know, just keep fucking chugging through this and come back out the other side even better, which is hopefully what I will do.
I think you're doing a good job. You're keeping up the momentum, and honestly, you've been pumping out videos more than ever, I feel like, too. So, you know, maybe without the touring and stuff, it might be easier to cut through some of the noise, you know?
Maybe. You know, I never stopped releasing music consistently. The beginning of this was an EP, Eat Me Alive, and then I just have done one about a month since. So I haven't stopped any of that shit. If anything, I've been able to make more content on my own, so that's been good. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. All I can do is my best.
Dude, hell yeah. I mean, like you even like vibes of you mentioned your the EP, Eat Me Alive, the artwork for that was like wild, because when I was scrolling through your website, you know, I saw the video, I think the last 2 artworks, and then the Unbreakable, and the fucking artwork for this is crazy, and then the other one is like it has like bandages over the eyes.
Right, blood with Castor, yeah.
Yeah. Is that all you two? Are you taking these pictures as well, or
not almost all of them I are. Oh Jesus. Almost all of them I am. But Blood, Eat Me Alive, and Unbreakable are the 3 that I did not. And that's a dude named Thomas G. Anderson. Thomas G. Anderson. His handle is Thomas G. Anderson because it's Thomas G. Anderson. But he did the cover for Asking Alexandria's The Black.
Oh shit.
He's done a shitload of awesome metal covers, and it's all just his own like dark art photography. And like back in the day I used to do some of my own, and like I still do, because obviously, you know, I do some of that shit now, but like I used most of my own work from, you know, a couple years back as covers, and I still do. Drag Me Down with Man of God, that was mine. Almost all the other ones are my own things, but the last 3, like I needed a different spin on what I was looking for, and what I couldn't do it on my own, I felt like, so I was able to. Oh my god, there's a fuck, that's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's how I was just showing him the song. We show him the song like that.
It's incredible.
Fuck it. They could see
but yeah,
the artwork.
so Thomas G. Anderson is a fucking G, and the one Unbreakable that came out today is his as well. So he does a lot of very hyper realistic, bizarre shit. And if it captures the feeling I'm looking for, then I buy that shit right up and make sure that I lock it down.
Like, honestly, like the artwork, the vision, like it all comes together like really nicely in a nicely packaged way. You know, it's very cohesive, and like scary as fuck as that is, like it does match the feeling that you get, like you just said, like an organicness, like that looks real. It looks like he actually took a photo of some fuck shit, you know. But
right, yeah. But thank you. I just want everything to be cohesive, and like you said, that's why I like releasing stuff on my own and independently, because it feels right, because I can literally do anything I want, and I don't have anybody else to tell me, you know, hey, you can't do this, or hey, maybe it'll be better this way. And, you know, that's why I think Unbreakable is like my 31st independent release. No, 36th independent release, I think.
Oh, shit.
36th. Yeah, I think it's like the first overall official release, not counting remixes.
Oh damn.
So like, yeah, I just like doing it myself. That's why I do the videos myself as much as I can. I'm not afraid to ask for help because I can't do everything. But yeah, I just want everything to be exactly how I want it. So that's why I do that. That's why, you know, I like blood, so there's gonna be blood on my face. I have a song called Blood. I like creepy shit. I like creepy shit that is on the cusp of like emotionally dark and creepy dark. Like those are the two things I like. Not all my songs are just like hyper emotionally dark, but like they're all going to be dark in some way. But I like exploring both of those things. That's why I like having the final say so when it comes to the visual aspect of it.
Even your like songs too, even if you just listen to like one of your songs like that, I honestly, maybe both of the remixes of Slipknot and the Ghost Man, they have like a psytrancey kind of like build up almost too. It's like you hit different aspects in the same song too. It's not even like it's just one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like you use different elements, you know. So even within electronic music, you're like sampling a different range of kind of stuff too. So it's refreshing too. You know, what labels do you look into if you do decide not to self-release something? Are there particular labels that host this kind of thing, or?
I've released some Cannonballin', and I like what they do a lot. My song with Sullivan King's on his album was on Cannonballin' and Silver Ghost. But I don't really. I like Ophelia's music a lot too. But honestly, when it comes to whether I'm going to release it myself or not, like, I'm going to release it myself 9 times out of 10, and I'm not going to actively, unless it's there's one song that I have that I'm really, I want it to be right, so I'm going to shop it out, because it's definitely the best thing, in my opinion, that I've ever done. It's the most personal song I've ever done, too, so it's like, but 9 times out of 10, unless they come to me and ask, I'm not going to shop it out.
Okay.
And I have a couple of things coming out later on this year that I did. Somebody did approach me and ask me, and it seemed right, so I'm going to do it. But you know, when I was just first starting, you know, two years and a couple months ago, like when I first started, like everybody was like, "Do not chase labels; let the labels come to you." I literally took that and fucking ran with it, and it's true. And I still have the same mindset. I don't want to chase anybody. I want them to want to do it for me. I want them to believe in me, them come to me. So that's the way I still am. And, you know, there may be some times where I need help with, especially that one song I was mentioning. I think I might need some help with it because I don't think I can do it justice on my own. Perhaps I can, but, you know, we'll see. But I do like Cannonball and Ophelia. Who else is doing cool shit right now? I mean, there's a lot of labels. Lowly Palace is doing some really cool shit. They have a lot of great releases. I love them.
These are all new names to me. Yeah, these are all new names to me. So yeah,
Cannonball?
Well, not Cannonball, but the other ones. Ophelia. I was like, oh, is that
Ophelia? Seven Lions label.
Say that one more time.
7 Lions label.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, dude, check out the release. They're amazing song. Trifecta is on there. He's just fucking phenomenal. I love him.
Okay.
Sam is awesome.
Definitely. I've never heard.
But yeah, it's definitely not about the label to me. I follow artists. So if they're releasing on a label a lot, then I will go check out what the label does and shit. But beyond that, it's about music, and that's about it.
Yo, hell yeah. And it's a pretty good way to deal with it too, because, you know, I feel like, you know, if you're a young aspiring artist, you might send your shit to some of these labels and then not hear back, and it's like discouraging. But it could just be, you know, they're too busy. I haven't got back to my emails in a little bit too, you know. It's like it's a number of things. But yeah, I would say just self-release it. You know what? Now's the time, dude. SoundCloud just released its fucking a feature where you can master tracks now, right in
I saw it.
It's like,
I saw it.
I guess we got to test it out, see how it is. But dude, that's not a
I
bad
mean,
feature.
for what I've seen on the internet, it's getting ridiculed pretty hard. It's getting railed on. Pretty bad. I have tried it. I was they offered the beta to me like 6 or 7 months ago or something like that, and they were like, "You try it." And I just remember I tried it. I'm just like, no. absolutely fucking not. And every time there's like, because they give you a survey after it, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. Sorry, like, don't concentrate on this shit. Concentrate on bringing your shit back up to like a good platform. Stop doing shit you don't need to do.
That's true.
But
and you're taking money out of mastering engineers' pockets, you know?
Right. Well, it's not going to replace a mastering. Now, I will say one of the settings I had was surprisingly good, but the volume was so unbelievable. It was so undiscernibly low, and like the bass was still way too heavy in it. But one of the settings did do better than I thought, but definitely nothing compared to a human, especially a human that knows what they're doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, naturally. Like, what does it use? The same algorithm as like Lander or something, like one of these other websites? Oh, okay.
Mostly. Yeah.
Right.
I looked into that when I was first starting, and yeah, that there's no replacing a human.
Nah, even when you do it yourself, like there's no replacing somebody else doing it for you. You know, you could have the best ear, whatever. You could be so personally attached, and that's almost the downfall of mixing and mastering yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's a bane of my fucking existence. But I will say one more thing before we move on to the next thing. The person who didn't instill, because I didn't know him back then, and I still don't know him super well, but the role model I had for releasing myself was Drezo. Almost everything Drezo's ever done is self-released, and I think that's fucking amazing, especially somebody that plays consistently large stages as he does, and it has a big following because he's been around a long time. He's a nice dude. He has such consistently awesome badass music. Almost everything besides a few remixes has been himself, and that is what I have always looked up to and remembered. And the times I've gotten to talk with him, and when he followed me on Twitter, I just lost my goddamn mind. So that kind of shit, it really, people like that, they don't realize how much that other people can look up to that. So I had to shout him out there for really making me believe in myself with that.
So was he really that was the first tune you said, right? You dropped that before, right? That little tidbit. It was like one of the first tunes.
That was the first like mid-tempo song. Besides like the stuff I grew up listening to, industrial, like that's basically what mid-tempo took everything from. Like Gustafstein. I didn't listen to Gustafstein a lot growing up. I really learned of him after I got into electronic music. But like any industrial stuff is usually going to be around that tempo. Not really everything, but a lot of it is slower. It's much more aggressive, has like a really, low growling bass line, but it's not EDM by any means. It's super fucking angry. So like, that's what I really listened to. And then when I heard like Drezo's thing, and I heard some other people, Gustafstein, I'm just like, wow, this is it's industrial, just kind of a little different. And so I just kind of took that, and I'm just like, okay, well, I can do whatever the fuck I want then. So I'm going to do that.
Okay, dude. Well, hell yeah, man. I got to check out more of Drezo, honestly.
Dude, you gotta. It's fucking incredible.
What was the song?
The simplicity of it is so astoundingly crisp and perfect. That's what it is. It's called Jaded.
Jaded
is the song. All of Drezo's shit's awesome, but Jaded by Drezo is why Swarm, or one of the reasons why Swarm is me, is here still. Yeah.
Yes. A couple other
He's just been a
too.
Great influence on me. Yeah. Oh yeah, like he's been a great influence on me in general though. Just seeing his work ethic and how he does what he wants on his own terms, and I think that's amazing.
Oh hell yeah. Is he from the States?
He's from LA. Yeah.
Oh, LA. Oh, awesome. Nice, man. I figured since he's such an OG, he must be from like over the pond or some shit,
No, he's still like, he does primarily house, like dark house.
Oh.
But no, he's from here. He's a really cool dude.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey guys, dude. We usually do the beat and greets on Friday, but we started them on Wednesday. So if you don't know, throw your tunes in Discord. We could listen to them, me and this guy right here. And if you got any questions for us, let them know, man. Throw the question up there.
Yeah, please. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
Cause I went through my whole list right here. I made a list and we went through it.
That's the whole list.
You
don't realize you're a new artist. If you're discussing me with that statement that I don't realize that I am that. If you're talking about me, that's probably the nicest thing you could say to me, because I don't think about that a lot. I still consider myself a brand new artist, because I just am me, and I'm with myself all day. So I look, I really. Oh, thank you. I'm way too hard on myself a lot of times. So thank you.
Naturally.
My favorite show I've ever played and why. I played a show in Portland on the Thank You for Raising tour. That was incredible. Just the amount of people that showed up early because I was opening that tour, that was just unbelievable. Brooklyn to end the tour was just absolutely unreal. But, despite that whole tour, Seattle was amazing. Like the whole tour was awesome. But I think it still has to be February 2019 when I opened for Rez and Drezo, actually, and Bleep Bloop. Yes. And I think I played to like 8,000 people, and it was an outdoor, like an amphitheater, and I just lost my fucking mind. I was just like, oh my God, like this is what I've been wanting to do forever. I'm just like, holy shit. And and then like I was so nervous, and I prepared for that show religiously. And I executed it exactly how I envisioned, but I was nervous and expected the worst at every possible turn. So, but I killed it because I practiced my ass off and prepared, and I even had to play an additional 30 minutes completely made up on the spot. And I'm not the traditional DJ in the sense of like, yeah, like I don't DJ parties. I don't have any interest in DJing anything except my own shows. DJing is the way I can bring my music live to people. So like that is just the medium. So until I made music way before I started DJing. So I've been DJing for probably, less than 2 years. I know how to do it. I'm good at it now because I need to be, but that's, nothing more than that. But yeah, I had to somebody was late. So I had to wing 30 minutes. Of course, I've always been told to come prepared in case. Yep, that's my manager. They literally, when I was up there, were like, "You can play 30 more minutes." Yeah, okay. I'm just like, but I was like, okay, and I went with it, and I just like, I can do this, whatever, and I did. So I was like, that combined with the fact that the crowd was so responsive and just so unbelievably welcoming. That's going to be the best show I've ever played for sure. Damn. In my mind, because of the size, and it was just one of those things that everything just worked together so perfectly that I just fondly remember that. So, but I'm sure I'll have one that tops it soon.
Do you have like a city? Do you have a favorite city, or is it that because of that is particular?
I like New York.
Oh, really?
I just love New York.
Where have you played in New York?
Brooklyn at King's Hall.
King's Hall. Oh shit, man, that's a good one. Damn.
I love that one. I played there twice. That was the only two times I played in New York.
Oh, nice.
But one of them was very last second with 178L, and then the other one was on the tour with Sullivan King. Oh, so those were, I think that's probably one of my favorite places. Yeah, the play they're so insane. Every time I'm there, they're so excited to hear music. That's what I like about like good shows. That's all good shows are. People that are just excited about music. They don't care about looking cool. They just want to listen to music and have fun and get crazy. That's it. So, any place that can have that, I'm going to love it. I don't care if there's 20 people or 2,000 people. Like, I'm going to love it. It's like people are just fucking having fun.
Dude, that's kind of circles back into one of these questions from, I guess, your manager. He's lobbing you a question. What would be an ideal concert atmosphere? And that's kind of it right there. You kind of just like literally answered the question that was coming up next too.
I literally just. Exactly. Like, but ideal, like if I could just create an environment, I would want to play probably like in the middle of nowhere, probably in like a deserted warehouse in the middle of nowhere with only red lighting and crazy ass backlit visuals and shit. That is just a very creepy atmosphere, and that is just filled with people just not giving a fuck about just getting down to music. Just really, my music. That's my ideal scenario. Is just a creepy warehouse rave.
Hey, okay. That's perfect. Man who knows what he wants. That's good too, man. Yeah. It looks like you're already building that behind you.
Thank you. Yes, yeah. It's I could just probably play it in my hometown here of Jacksonville, Florida. That's pictured behind me.
Oh man.
Best advice for new artists: don't give up and never stop learning. Because I still to this day sometimes want to give up. And because it's a tough ass fucking thing to get into, man. Music it's brutal. Your feelings will be hurt every fucking day, probably without fail, by somebody on the internet. And you just have to learn to let it roll off your back. I still haven't quite learned that yet, but I also don't charge those people and argue with them, because I have enough sense in my brain. I have very little sense in my brain, but I have enough sense to know that, like, trying to talk back to people that are going to talk shit is not going to work. Nothing's going to happen. It's always going to happen. So, you know, I've seen some really nasty shit about me sometimes, but, like, what are you going to do? That's fine. You're never going to meet these people in your entire life. So I say this to myself too, like, just roll with it. Like, if you believe in what you're doing, fucking do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. Because the reason I'm here is because I did it on my own terms, and that's it. There's no other reason. If I did this and I didn't like what I was doing, or I did it to make music for DJs to play out, or to, like, for people to, you know, to only headbang to, like, I would not be here, because I would hate it, because I would hate myself. I'm just like, I can't do this. Like, I have to like what I'm doing, and everything I do I like. So that's a very roundabout way of saying, do it on your own terms. Don't let people change you, but listen to criticism when need be. But know when it's something that applies to you, and know when it's just somebody's opinion. And then 3, don't give up, because you're going to want to do it a lot. And if you do, you know, that's why any artist ends, usually, for the most part. That's why you don't hear of some artists now, because they just, you know, they either gave up, or, you know, they let their minds get the best of them, and they're just like, they psych themselves out, and, you know, they or just fell out of love with it. And if you do fall out of love with it and you don't feel like doing it anymore, there's no need for you to continue. If you really truly don't want to do it anymore and you're just like, I give up. But you have to discern between, do you want to keep doing this, and you're just really discouraged, or do you truly not like it anymore? And I think that's a big distinction that a lot of people will face, because a lot of people will be discouraged. And I think most of the time it's going to be you're discouraged and you feel like nobody's listening. And so just know that doesn't go away. You just got to learn how to deal with it properly. And that is my big piece of advice.
Damn. Heavy, bro.
Oh yeah, I get real heavy real quick. So
hey, no, that was
perfect. I mean, getting real heavy real quick.
I think people expect that with your tunes too. You know, they got the lightheartedness from the videos, but the tunes and everything, it taps into a deeper place. You know, so I don't think people are expecting anything less heavy from you. But maybe, you know, a few goofy videos. I think just.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of those too. Thank you guys. That was a great question. I enjoyed answering that, and thank you for saying that it was good. I'm glad you think that.
Yeah, dude. Thank you for slaying that shit.
Oh yeah, thanks for a great question.
Because I think on that note, maybe we should move on to some music. Because how do we top that? How do we top that?
Fair enough.
We don't.
Fair enough.
So I mean, and if you guys got more questions too, you feel free to ask too. We'll just start going with the music, because we got a lot of good ones tonight. I see 5-star in there.
I see Jim. Jim's in the chat here. Jim believed in me when I was literally nothing, and has been literally a day one fan of mine, and I can't even thank him enough for still being around and supporting me, because he's one of the big reasons why I'm even still here, because he was literally besides Shavante and Marshall, my management, and Ken, he is the only other person that's literally a day one person, and I really appreciate him.
Damn, Jim, yo, let's get some F's in the chat for Jim.
Shout out Jim for sure.
Jim, dude.
I need Jim, girl.
I see some F's. Yes, we love you, Jim. All right, well, Jim's part of the Girth Gang now too. Thanks to Carl. Carl, thanks for all the gifted subs, the love, man. Everyone giving us bits over here too. Tim, all the Swarms team, Swarms group coming in here. We saw the faction representing, bro.
Hell yeah. Wherever the faction's in here, I love you guys. Thank you for being with me here.
Yeah, what usually happens is like, you know, we start to see some chat in the beginning, and then once like we get into the questions, the chat slows down a little bit, and I'm like, oh man, are people tuning out? But they just, I think they're hypnotized, you know. They like listening to some of these guys, and you definitely had us on our seat, on the edge of our seat. This was me the whole time.
Glad to hear that. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Here's a beer for you, Jeb.
So
Can I do that? There you go. All right. So I see. How are we going to do this? Am I going to play the song and mute my audio, or are you going to mute my audio? Or
yeah,
what?
maybe we'll just mute at the same time. We'll count down and mute. Does that work with you?
Yeah. Hold on. How do I?
There should be like you see on my screen right here. There's like 3 little things.
Yep.
Yeah. One. You don't see that on yours?
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
That should work. All right. Ready? Give it 5 seconds. And we'll start it off.
Are we doing the whole song or one drop?
Yeah. We'll start off with the whole song. We'll see how many we got in here.
Okay.
Let's do it up. 5 stars usually a little. Yeah. He's got 2 minutes. We could do the whole song. Let's do it.
Cool. All right.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Motherfucking 5-star.
That was dope.
Woo.
You want to go first or me? Okay, so we're going to be giving feedback, right? Or are we just going to be listening and just giving our thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you got feedback, we love to hear it too, man. Some of these tracks I listen to and I'm like, what the fuck can I possibly say? So if you got some things, you know, let's hear yours first. I'd love to hear some.
I honestly, okay, so let me start by saying I don't know a lot about this particular style of music. I can tell you is what I hear. It was produced well, in my opinion. I was listening with a sub pack because I have my sub pack, and it's the best thing I've ever purchased. FYI for everybody. It hit really hard. I don't know a lot about this particular kind of like left field or experimental bass, stuff. It was groovy. I don't really have any constructive feedback for you because I don't know enough about this particular genre to tell you anything that needs to be improved on. It sounded good to me, and it sounded like it was produced well. So that's all I can really say to that.
Yeah, man. Even looking at the waveform right now, it's pretty thick. There's definitely maybe some things. What is that? Collections. How do I get rid of that? There's some things maybe you could mix a little bit better in there. I'm not sure what they would be. Maybe that bass right here is just a little bit lower.
Bass.
But if a few bass mixes is the worst of the problems right here, I don't think you're not hitting too many. It's 3 days old too, so oh, this is the master. Nice. So maybe just a few little parts like right here. It kind of lost a little energy, and you could kind of see it, but that's literally it. And at that point, I'm just picking at straws. You know, I'm just fucking saying, looking for problems. But true.
Yeah,
right.
That's solid.
Yeah, bro.
People would love that live.
Dick Boy, he's coming in here twice a week, dropping 2 new songs on us every week. So, you know, a few mix-down problems are definitely going to be happening. And if that's the worst of your problems, bro,
True that.
watch out for this guy. All right, so I just hit you with Elevate. Do we have, what's his name in here? Outer Space. I'm seeing a tune by Outer Space, but I'm not sure if you're in chat. I don't want to go to your tune. So right now we'll just go to Elevate. And you want to start it off in 5 seconds?
Okay, Elevate. Okay, gotcha. Yep,
All right.
ready.
Yes, boss. 3, 2, 1.
Fuck, I keep the gangsta, yo. I'ma ride on my side in the. Fuck, I keep the gangsta, yo. And I'ma ride on my side in the. I'ma ride on my side in the city. And fuck, I keep the gangsta, yo. Side in the like tons of cold. Cold.
Oof.
That was fucking wild.
Wild, man. 17 hours ago I uploaded Elevate, finally, like a new one from you, I think, man. It's crazy. He sends us like all this like Pretty Lights kind of inspired stuff. And
Right.
then he'll be like, "Oh, that's from 8 years ago." And then he comes with this stuff and you're like, "Oh shit, okay." You could see the progression, you could hear the mix downs, like the drums, I mean the kick was finesse in that one.
So punchy as fuck.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm like, dude, you got that on lock. That little kick is so nice.
Right, sure.
And I like the snare too, man. It's got a nice like Foley element.
It's super sharp and clicky, but not harsh. It's just
Yeah, ooh, punches through.
yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah, I mean it. It was super. It was groovy. It was definitely at some parts it got super chaotic, and I just couldn't. I could barely follow it. But I mean, like, that's not a technical issue. That's more of a taste issue. I mean, if I had to say something about it, I could see this being a little confusing to follow live. Like if somebody's there grooving, like some of those parts are just so crazy that they would probably be kind of thrown off. They'd probably be like, what? You know, because it's so everywhere, especially with like the crazy, like, you know, repeated kicks that are just everywhere. But I mean, that's pretty much the only thing I got to say. I could see it'd be really confusing and hard to follow sometimes, but I mean, it was definitely done well.
Yeah. No, it was you know, if that's the thing, it's like a stylistic choice, then dude, more power to you too, because that's the one thing I would have to say too, is just maybe get ready for it to be not like the dance floor murder, you know. I mean, people might be vibing. This is like a late night, you know. Most of your tunes would fit well in a late night set, you know, have everybody vibing and shit, and that would be perfect for it too. But I don't know, over complicating things sometimes I seem to do the same shit, and it bites me in the foot.
It's pretty complicated.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, that's my thing. It was done well. It was definitely hard to follow sometimes.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind.
Yeah, maybe just a couple of the glitches, clean them up a little bit, but or even the drums, simple them up, just keep it on the 1 and 3, and that's fine. But if not, dude, that's dope too, bro. How to solve vibe and elevate, you always come through. So fuck yeah, man. You linked us with your SoundCloud, I hope, right? I hope so. So all right, I just sent you one from Dr. Flopper. It's called 715. Got that?
Yeah.
Dr. G, you in here, bud? I saw you in here a couple minutes ago. All right, you ready to start it off?
Let's do it.
Let's go, boss. I'm feeling like this is where we need to be.
Right. Oh.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I cut out there during that song. I was still listening, but my internet decided to completely go out, and it's still out. But I am on my phone hotspot now for some reason.
Oh,
so
shit.
See what happens. But it worked out because it was in the song, but I was still able to listen and then pop back in. That's great.
Damn. Yeah, no, that was, thank God for the reconnecting feature. We almost didn't even realize.
Yeah. I didn't realize either until Okay, so the song, it felt incomplete. It didn't have any snare, which was a little odd, but I mean that's not necessarily something that's bad. It seemed a little repetitive, and it was definitely different. I don't really know. I've never heard anything like that before. It sounded kind of like a video game, to be honest.
Like an 8-bitty kind of like in a level, a background of a level.
Yeah, I could actually see that. I know he says there's no vocals on it yet. I'd be interested to see what kind of vocals would go with that.
Yeah. No, and I didn't even realize the no snare, to be honest, because I was gonna say, it looks fucking like a sausage right now. It looks like not mixed and mastered. That's crazy because it looks like everything is fitting dynamically very nicely. But you know, maybe even just cutting some of that, cutting some of the repetitiveness out. You know, in the drums and the synth, just have like even an 8-bar loop or a 4-bar loop of just like none of that but one thing, you know, and just let one thing shine through. Right. You know,
right.
Yeah, just a little variety. It would help, even if you're not doing anything else. Just taking certain aspects out and just letting one shine through, like just letting the hi-hat or just letting the fucking synth shine through right there. No kick.
Right, yeah. To give a break, and then you can go back into it later.
Yeah.
To kind of bring it all together, but yeah, definitely it needs a little variety.
Yeah, a little variety wouldn't hurt that at all.
But definitely, yeah, the mix definitely seemed very full. So you might have to actually take some things out at some point to make room for other things.
That's true, because it's huge, man. For a non-mixed and mastered track, that's like looking like a big little sausage right there. So shout out. Thank you for linking us, Dr. G.
Yep.
All right, so we got Still up next. You got this terminal velocity demo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, boss. Let's start it up.
There you go.
Damn.
That was solid as fuck. Pretty much everything. I will say, it was definitely groovy. The music was cool. It was, I will not say the name. The BASSNECTAR. It's identical. And that's, I mean, he's gone now, and that's a good thing. So, you know, I can't, you know, it definitely has, it sounds like it. There was no difference to me.
That's true.
It could have literally been straight off the Time Warp album, but we don't talk about him anymore, so it was a dope song.
So he's rewriting history, is what we're saying. Is Coop still is going to swoop in?
And, you know, there's a huge market for that. Let's put it that way.
That's very true. Nah, hell yeah, man. It's that was dope. There was
time stretch. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get crucified for saying Time Warp. I didn't listen to a lot of him. I will say that.
Covering your tracks, covering your fucking tracks now.
No, it's out there. People already know that I misquoted it, but you know what?
Hey, nah, it's all right. It's maybe we'll say it. You did that for a reason. You said it like just like you didn't say his name. You spelt it. Yeah,
I had to think about the spelling of it for a second, but yeah. Yes, but I mean it was. But you know, that aside, you know, he doesn't exist anymore. So there's that's a dope song. That's really dope. I can see that it sounded good to me. It sounded mixed well. It was, my sub pack was fucking thumping back here. So
yeah. And yo, maybe I'd say the same kind of fucking thing is maybe just since it's 6 minutes long. I mean, it didn't feel like 6 minutes. I'll tell you that right now. But once I looked at it, it was 6 minutes. Maybe just having a little bit of break in between the second drop. You know, like have a break section or like some other kind of drums too. You know, maybe like a little break beat or I don't know. That's played out as well too. Just to have half of the second half of the drop, you know, be a halftime or something. I don't know, but dude, it was hey, it was fine by me. This is all you know, take this with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain.
I'm really
of salt.
hungry. Sorry, I'm eating this chocolate.
He's literally taking it with a grain of salt.
But
hey, we don't hate. We don't hate over here. Eat up.
No, we don't.
It's probably melting.
I'm really hungry and went to IKEA earlier, so with a mask on. I have a dope ass mask, so.
Ooh, perfect. It fits your aesthetic.
Good. Yes. I just had to make it clear that I had a mask on. I want no bullshit.
Not after today with Caspa.
I'm gonna switch back to my internet here real quick, so it should be fine.
Okay. All right, man. You want to start the tune? We'll start the tune. We will. It's just gonna take a second for him to reconnect. All right. That's what that noise is.
Yay!
There we go.
I'm back. Okay, cool. Okay, Tide Pool, Dendroid. Yeah?
Yes, sir. Let's get into it.
Nice.
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the bus, dude. It's so sick. That's my favorite one, and it fit perfectly with that song, I must say.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. The bus is
I
your
have-
favorite overlay?
Well, no, it fits so perfectly.
Oh, okay.
I like
okay.
the Madison Square Garden one a lot. To be honest, every single one is fucking insane. So, what I'm saying doesn't, necessarily reflect the overarching feeling I have, but all of them are just so goddamn funny. You were awesome. I truly love you.
Oh, man, it's mutual.
And that song, I don't have any feedback for. That was vibey as fuck. It was dope. It was, I can't even. It sounded good all around.
Dude, for real.
And again, that's not something I'm, knowledgeable in. I just know that I enjoy it. So that's probably better than anything else I could say.
Yeah. No, and as a tune, it looked, I don't know if it's mastered, it says 1.0 or something, but it looks like it's pretty evened out. There might be a few little peaks and valleys right there, but other than that, like, it's the bass looks pretty even through and through, but it could maybe use a little bit of a boosting, but that's just visually too, and you don't want to mix and master something visually. So yeah, until I get a spectrum analyzer on this thing or something, like it is something that I definitely want to play out though, on one of these Sunday streams when it's chiller or a fucking sunrise set. Dope song, man. Dendroid, thank you for this.
Yeah, that was dope, man. That was really good. It was super. I'm not one for relaxing, I must say. Like, I don't like relaxing, but I mean, that was great. Definitely made me want to smoke.
He doesn't like relaxing, and that made him relax. So hell yeah, it was probably the chocolate too. So got him well fed.
I got theobromine fucking running through my bloodstream right now.
Oh shit. Okay, I just sent you one from Thick Boy. Hey, Palmera, I think that's how you say it. Is there any way you could upload it to SoundCloud? Because I don't know how I would send this to our man Swarm over here. We're not sharing audio streams. So if you could upload it to SoundCloud, we could definitely get to you. There's 3 more after this. So or we could I could just do that later too. But it's just I can't share the audio.
I can't hear it more than I could when we were testing it out earlier. I can't hear it now. It's pretty quiet still, so this is the best. But I can hear it now from you. It's just very, very low.
Oh,
it's not as low as it was earlier though. So if we need to, we.
Okay. All right. Maybe there's a way.
I have a feeling this one's going to be a little heavier than what we've been listening to.
Yeah, from Thick Boy, I think so. Oh shit! All right. So you want to start this one up? Let's count it down. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
It's cute that y'all think you're the heroes of this little adventure, but you're not. Welcome to Pandora, kiddos. I'm gonna spend a long time torturing you bandits scum to death.
fucking face. Oh yeah, and since you shiverbrains evidently don't know how to listen, I'll say it again. Holy crap! Did you see your head? It looks like...
Damn. Okay.
Alright.
All right. Was that
Wonky.
Yeah, definitely wonky.
I mean, again, the kick seemed a little loud. It was definitely louder than most everything else. And I think from this waveform, I can see it's way louder than everything else too.
Definitely.
And the sub could come up a little bit. The bass could come up. The main thing though would be there was no real tension in it. It kind of started, then the drop kind of went, and it kept going, and then had some melody in it. I just really like tension. I would love to see some more tension in that, like some build, because I think that could elevate it quite a bit more. Trying to think what else. Again, this is not a genre of music that I'm really knowledgeable about. I'm only using my ears here, so I'm not really good at giving you technical stuff for this. But the technical thing would be the kick seemed to be really loud, and then again the tension. There didn't seem to be much of a build. It just kind of start, drop, pause, and then drop again. I would like to see tension. I think a lot of people would like a little more tension in that too.
Yeah, it's I don't know if it's an hour ago in an effort just to get it out, like to the show or whatever, but totally agree. It could use some maybe other aspects to bring it in and out of what it was, but you have all the elements there. It's not even necessarily like looking for different elements and adding more onto it. It's like maybe teasing certain elements. Like there was that synth at the end that just like it's that like hip hop keeps you where like that maybe could be used a little bit somewhere else, like in the lead up or something, and it could just be maybe a long, just one of those and a long reverb on it or something, and it's like he said too. The one thing that I could say about it is the kick or whatever this is right here. I believe that's the kick. There's peaks right here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I think that's what the kick is, because it felt. Again, this is why something like a sub pack is really awesome, because you can feel when something is like way louder than everything else, and that's what it felt like. But again, it could be a version 1, or it could be preliminary, but just something that I noticed.
Yeah, it's the kick is showing you that. Not that the kick is too loud either, but everything else is too low. That there's that much more headroom.
Fair enough.
You know,
that was a good way of putting it for sure.
I mean, it could even be so. Like once everything else gets up there, you could want to turn it down. But like, look at how much more headroom there is possible for this whole mix right there. You know, like there's a lot more room to bring up everything. At least 2 or 3 decibels. So I mean, hey, dude, it's fucking great for what it was though. So appreciate the tune. Thick Boy always coming through. Right now we got Retired Orphan. Retired Orphan. He's been in the chat all night giving out some good little tidbits too. And this one looks like a fucking fatty.
And Retired Orphan, I believe I have seen your name a lot supporting me over the past while. So thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm sure I've seen your name quite a bit. So thank you very much for that.
Let's go, Retired Orphan.
We ready?
Let's go. Yep. Yes, sir.
Go.
Follow already. I like where this is going already. Damn. Yo, Swarm.
Yeah.
This is your man's? Yo, thank you for bringing him.
Yeah, dude, that was bad fucking ass. It sounded, it was level. It was groovy as fuck. To me, it was mixed well from what I could hear. It felt nice and full. It didn't feel way too loud. It was super groovy. That was good. It was dope. It was really, I wanted to bob my fucking head and just really get groovy as fuck. So that was dope. I mean, literally the only feedback I could give you on that, I liked it to start, is, it sounds like Rez. There's nothing new. It sounds, like literally that, but I mean, that could also be, something good. It literally, if somebody showed me the song without knowing who it was, I would, the melodies, I would probably not necessarily think it was right off of like a Rez album, but like it definitely, I would have thought like, wow, is this a new song? But you know, it was good though, and that again, like that's kind of a drawback, but it's also, you know, the quality was good.
Yeah.
And it was. There's no technical feedback I could give you.
Yeah. If anything, I would say it was like on par with the Res quality tune.
That's
know?
exactly what I'm saying. It's like it could literally be right off a Res album, for good or for bad.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, that's a fair. Those are fair points too. You know, like I mean, people are definitely aware of their influences, but sometimes it needs to be like, oh, hey, let me hear a little bit more of you too, because you could feel it in there, dude. You're technically skilled, like insanely. Like, look at this waveform.
Oh yeah, dude, this shit was so dope,
dude.
It was so good.
Yeah,
and it was groovy as shit. You know, everything was mixed really well. It was just quality.
Yeah, no, it was even the outros. A lot of the times, you know, we get to a certain point, and I'm like, all right, let me just kind of slowly fade out the outro. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna listen to this whole outro, and it kept me, you know, involved. And a 3-minute 45-second song, I'd probably go back and listen to 1 or 2 more times, like just because that's how I like to listen to music.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, man.
And it was even dope with SoundCloud's ass quality too. So. Good job, dude. Seriously, that was so clean.
Yeah, no, for real. Hey, thank you for putting in chat, man. Thank you for
sending that. Thank you for the support. It means a lot, dudes.
Dude, for real.
Shut up.
Mine was just doing the same thing. All right, but we got Undefined up next. Retired Orphan,
Ready?
bro. Hats off to you, man.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was dope, dude. Seriously.
Okay, Undefined. Let's go. Big fucking tune. Big tune.
Cool. That was different. I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. So I'm gonna be straight up. There was a lot of cool parts, especially the second portion of when the drop comes in. It looks like it's at shit. Fuck, hold on. 209, 208. So you have the melody and that bass line under it. One, here's some tips for it. Sidechain, it needs to bounce more because right now it's just very flat. If you have like a really heavy sidechain right there, so it's like, it kind of bounces back up into your ears. That's what would give you the groove, because right now it's a little flat. So that's one. But that bass line and melody goes really well together, and I really, really like that. Two, your intro and build into that, the drop off before the drop, that kills the energy of the song, and it, and especially if you were to play that live, it would be a little awkward. So, the intro, a long intro on its own is one thing, but when you have like a long intro and then a build into like a 16 bar drop off into the drop, then that the flow of energy is thrown off. And when the drop kind of finally comes in, and it doesn't hit like it should. So that is my brutal, honest feedback on that. But again, when everything comes in, those elements are dope as fuck. But get that sidechain bounce from the kick, so you have that, that elastic like groove, and it will create that sort of head bob kind of effect. And then that secondary build. I don't know what you call that, but that was a little bit. But then after that, kind of just diversifying those same elements you had in that first drop a little bit would be dope. But I mean, you have really cool elements here, so rework the structure of it, because this would not only be a little awkward to play live, it would be awkward to mix into.
Yeah. For
like somebody else, because it doesn't have like an actual build. It has like sort of a build into like a valley, and then the valley straight into the drop, and then it doesn't kind of build up after that again. So, exactly. But yeah, I mean, you have really cool elements here.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was had a lot of feedback for that one. So
but that was perfect, because ending on that note too, like it is something that I'd want to drop, but it would be something I need to figure out in Ableton, rework like a 8-bar loop, and then which would kind of make it dope. It's like my own little rework, but might make a lot of people not be able to play your tune or mix it in. And you said right off the bat, oh, the intro's too long, but the outro, the ending, this 808 ending, like right around here, is something you could totally use, I feel like, in the beginning of the song, because it was so fire, and then it only happens for like 15 seconds at most. So I mean,
again, that 2-minute mark, that's something I would totally drop live. It needs that extra polish on it, and that extra so you have a very limited space to grab the listener. Live especially, everything has to be bam, 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 bam. And now I kind of go against that sometimes by I will purposefully inject valleys of to reset the mood a little bit. But in this case, this needs to be high energy, and it that's what it needs. So in this case, rework the structure a little bit, and it's a dope song though.
Yeah, no,
potentially a dope song.
Yeah. Great idea, bro. Great fucking idea, and thank you for sending that in.
Definitely.
So, all right, we got last two. We got Grayscale, and then Sebastian Matt. If you want to get into this Grayscale one,
let's get it.
Let's get you fed on the blood of the innocent.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Not many innocent in Florida, huh?
No.
All right, let's start it up.
There you go.
Fucking drummer. The fucking drummer. I forgot about this one. Here we go. You know what? Forgot about this one too. Clean bean fighting machines, huh?
Got the fucking hot tub, dude. Jesus, every fucking time. Nailed the move. God damn it. Okay. It's cool. I mean, it was dope. The intro definitely was a little long. I think both of us had to kind of, because I get the idea to have a very chill, like gradual intro. It was good. It was chill. The only thing I could really hear that was kind of distracting from like the overall vibe of it is the kick was a little too busy. So it would kind of come in like, like really, really fast triplets and shit, or not triplets, but like really fast staccato like patterns that would kind of distract from like the laid backness of the atmosphere. And it kind of threw off the groove sometimes, but it wasn't always like that. It was dope though. It was almost like a, obviously it reminded me of like a different vibe Black Mill kind of thing. Ooh. And I love Black Mill. That was just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It definitely had that kind of feel. It's not as ethereal, more like more down to earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Definitely hot tub material,
Definitely hot tub material. Absolutely, man. Could not have nailed it.
It was
Could not
summer
have nailed
vibes.
that.
Yeah.
Fuck summer, but yes, it was.
Yeah, no, it was dude, even let me show the mix too, because oh, that's not it. Go here, and then where is that? Right here. Bada bing. Look, it's pretty nice and evened out most of the time. And for a tune that's not even like seemingly in the loudness war, this isn't like a tune that you'd expect to be pushed to the limit. That the mixing and mastering is great on it. I think like he said though, the kick maybe could use a little bit more punch through. Like what would you even say, some EQing or multi-band compression, or like what would even help it?
I don't think it necessarily was that. I think it was just too busy. It was too maybe it needed like a little bit less attack, so like it needs to be a little more smooth rather than like clicky. Okay. Possibly just because of the music style, but I think it was more of the patterns that it did. Like it definitely would, instead of like dun dun ba, it would go dun 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 ba, like that kind of shit. So it sounded kind of rushed in some parts, and then like normal in others. That's the stupidest analogy I've ever used in my life, but like that's how I feel.
No, that makes sense too. And if you do have compression on it at that point, it will like duck like seconds at a time. If you have like 5 kicks coming in at the same time, because I do that too. I triple up my shit, and then I wound up having to like go back and automate my compressors and like their dry wets to not affect that much during that time. But hey, that's a whole nother story. It's all relative, But hey, good one, man. Grayscale, thank you, bro. You got a follow from me.
That was dope. That was definitely dope.
Yeah, broke out the fucking jacuzzi for you, man. So,
I know, man. I can't believe you did that.
We didn't even take our clothes off. Fuck it.
I didn't, but maybe next time I possibly will.
No one.
Then your channel becomes not safe for work, though. Do you really want that?
Hey, yeah, Twitch now. We gotta abide by the rules.
Fuck.
But we got okay, we got 2 more left actually. Someone snuck theirs in last second, and it was the file that we couldn't play via Discord. So we got this one from Woke Angel, and then one last one.
All right.
So I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for being here, man, and thanks everyone for fucking submitting their tunes.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Ready?
Yes, sir. Woke Angel.
1, 2, 3.
Bam.
Oops.
Okay. Oak Angel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I mean, it gives us a little disclaimer, very raw, work in progress. But just right off the bat, like it's I paused it real quick and was making sure nothing else was running. I think it was the vocal. I think it could have been the vocal sample or something that you used in there that might have just been causing like you know what? That made it all better. The mix down was perfect. Song was perfect. We got puppies. That's it. We're good.
Oh my God, Lauren! Don't you even try. I know what that shit is.
What is it? What has she got?
I don't know. Click that. I guarantee you, I know what that shit is. But
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I guarantee you, that's
my
fucking "Never Gonna Let You Down" by Rick. What's his face?
Oh my God.
She's trying to Rick roll us.
Is she trying to Rick roll us right now?
I don't know. Maybe
Should I-
seems like she would be. Yes.
Hold on, I might have to open it. I might have to open it, and it'll be our first Rick roll.
Please don't do it. I made my own version.
You know what?
for
That's
Rick
what I was opening up, but we got this fucking Swarm one again.
roll. God damn it.
House of Swarm. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I did my own version of that. It was.
I seen it. I seen it.
Wait, do you not follow me?
No, I follow you 100%. What? Oh no, this is the wrong account. This is a different account.
Yeah.
Look. It's this is
Alright,
abstract.
yeah,
This is abstract future.
Fucking.
This is abstract future. This is not me, but now you got another follow. Where's the Rick roll though?
It's getting there. It's almost there. I don't quite remember. I do a lot of stupid
You
shit.
do.
Hold
Is
on.
this it? No.
There it is.
Is this
There
one?
it is. That's it. No, wait, no, that's not it. That's the
No,
Easter
no.
one.
Jesus.
It's almost there. Sorry, I do a lot of dumb
Oh, here.
shit, man.
Here it is.
There it is.
Put it back.
But so anyways, yeah, that song, I mean, it was finish what you were saying. You were saying you thought it was the vocal that
Listen.
yeah, and there's the other side of me
Yep.
there. Yes.
If you don't get your mix downs right, people, this is what's coming for you on the other end. All
Yeah,
right.
man, you don't want that shit. You don't want shit at all.
He goes from fucking Rick rolling to covered in blood. And now he's got
And then
puppies
my new
behind him.
background.
Oh, let me check. Where is it? Studio guest. There we go. He's got puppies behind him. Jesus. All right, but no. But the song, if I mean, hey, if you want feedback on that song, I would say the vocal sample or something is like going at the same time as the bass, and it was kind of interfering with the whole
Yes.
vibe. I don't know what it was, if it was the vocal track or a synth that you left in there, but could have just been like, you know, you getting so wrapped up in a loop that after a while you just don't even notice certain things, you know. So like
That
it's
happens to me frequently.
all the time, man. Even when you were mentioning before how your managers or your girl will kind of like give you a total different perspective, it's like that with music. We need to just walk away. We're so in it with our 8-bar loops that we just think it sounds good, but then we take a step back and we're like, all right, that all I need to do is turn that off and the whole song is way better, you know. So
Right.
you could just do a little bit of subtractive production, and I think it would have a lot of benefits because the idea's there. You got the samples. If you mix everything in at the right time, it's just it'll come together, you know. But I think right now there's like too much going on, you know, and maybe that's EQing or maybe that's panning or something. But a couple things could be taken out in certain places, like maybe just not have that flute in there, because there was a flute at certain points, and just have the wobbles and the kicks and the vocal, but having the vocal and the flute and all those kicks too, you know, it could just take your attention away from where you want it to be. So hey man, that's just you know, take that with a grain of salt, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about either. I meant to
I don't
zoom in on
either.
him.
I truly don't.
But you got puppies, so that's important. That's what I was trying to
I
show.
fucking sure as hell do.
Oh shit. Okay, so we got Palmera. I'm sorry. He slipped it in fucking SoundCloud. It's nice, bro. Uploaded it right to Discord at first, and then I said, "Hey, my man Swarm can't hear it." So then now he uploaded it to SoundCloud for us, and I think this might be the one we close it out on.
I'm ready.
All right.
Last one. Here we go.
Let's go. Let's go, man. Hey, thanks again for being here, boss.
Dude, it is my fucking pleasure. This was truly one of the most fun things I've done in a long ass time.
Hey. Well, I appreciate that, man. You've been an absolute pleasure. From your
Thanks,
fucking,
man. I hate you too.
From
Damn.
Damn, bro.
That was fucking dope.
Yeah. No, for real. For 2 followers on the SoundCloud, now
Yeah,
3.
what the fuck is up with that?
Dude.
I don't know why that is, but that definitely was very, very well done. One thing, there was a couple like sort of mood changes in it with the lead. Maybe it was like a little bit of guitar or something, or like one of the leads that kind of changed. It wasn't necessarily changed keys. It was almost like changed moods a little bit. That kind of sounded weird, and it threw me off a little bit. Let's see if I can find it. Because it kind of went from majorish to like really minor a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it works. It felt a little out of place. It works. Like musically it works, but to my ears it kind of sounded weird. Yeah, right there. So like at 140-ish. And it did it at the end of the song too. Again, musically it's correct because it works, but it sounded weird, and I think that's just my own ears. So that may be a perspective for you to think about, because it definitely threw me for a loop a little bit.
That's true. Nah, I didn't even think of that too, man, because I was just like looking at the mix down too, and just some of those sounds. Like I was kind of just being like 3 followers. What the fuck's going on, man? I was waiting for something to be wrong to like have in my head, you know, not necessarily wrong.
Really
but
well
just,
done.
yeah. No, it was like I was waiting for something to like stick out that I could be like, oh, I'll say this or that. And no, man, I really, besides the key change, I think you murdered that whole thing. It blended pretty nicely together. Even that outro, the little twinkly outros, bro, was dope. So Palmera, thank you.
Yeah, you're definitely onto something for sure.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I can't give you any feedback at all because it sounded perfect. But but the ears, that one musical thing, I know what you were going for, and I get it. It works, and it's musically sound, but it doesn't work for my ears, and that's kind of sometimes even more important. But you know, that's a very small thing.
No, for real. That's dude, that's nothing. And Cammy, dude, thank you for the 700 bits. I didn't even see that. Dude,
Yeah.
35 bones. Thank you for supporting. Jesus. Wow, and we getting paid to listen to good music, dude. So it's thank you guys. Like really everybody who fucking submitted tonight.
Absolutely, thank you guys so much.
It was hard to pick apart, you know, things for a lot of these, and each week just keeps getting better. You know, y'all keep coming through. We see some of the same names, and to see this thing growing, and we get new people and new fucking new music, that's even doper, man. And yo guys, I just want to say, go follow Swarm. He was fucking coming over here blessing us with his time, his very precious time.
Can I plug my new song real quick?
Absolutely. We got a command for it too, man. Follow that link if you guys want to hear it. Plug it as much as you want.
Please.
Let's hear about it. Talk about it. Ask him a
I would
question.
love for you to hear it.
Yes,
if I had to describe it, it's like straight up metalcore, but it's psytrance and also very me. So it's super fucking heavy, and I think live, it's going to be one of my favorite live songs to play whenever that happens. So, but yeah, that would be amazing if you listen to it on Spotify or whatever you do. Spotify helps me out a lot. But at House of Swarm at everything, I would really appreciate the support. And I genuinely enjoyed talking to everybody. And thank you. I appreciate you listening to it. Yeah, you guys are all awesome. On Facebook, we have a group called The Faction where I'm in there every day talking with everybody. And yeah, I thank you so much, dude, for having me on. I truly enjoyed every minute of this.
Dude, this was absolutely my pleasure, man. I've been meaning to talk to you for a long time, and I'm glad that we got to talk in like a long haul, you know, and really just pick apart what you're about. And you know, I like to say it again.
So I love talking about it. So thank you for letting me talk, and thanks for everybody for listening to me ramble about myself for an hour.
Well, hey, dude, thanks for providing the content that like keeps us entertained, and you know, it just shows a nice little personality of you. And thanks for the awesome music, the new side of it, the critiques that you gave us today, and just being a good guy. Look at that smile.
My pleasure, man. You too. I genuinely enjoyed talking to you. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go eat some food, and I'll talk to you guys online.
Right,
if you guys have any additional questions that I couldn't get to, just DM them to me, and I'll answer them. Okay?
Yes, sir. We got all his socials linked below. Just go follow him, and you know, show him some love for being here. So thanks again, man. Seriously, eat that food.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. I'll talk to you soon.
You too, boss. Have a good one.
Bye.
Peace, man. All right. So another one in the books. Not low. Thank you for being here. I was literally gonna say, hey, you got the first puppy on the show, but you know what? We saw your dog. We saw your fucking dog. We heard from your dog last week. So unfortunately, that wasn't the first puppy. Maybe the most puppies. But he started off in hell, ended in a platoon of puppies, and I just want to say, let's go. Let me give the command one more time. Go follow him on everything. Go check out the group. Go listen to the single, and just let him know he's appreciated for doing this kind of thing, because I certainly do. I certainly appreciate it, and appreciate all you beautiful people. I appreciate all you beautiful people for being here, almost 3 hours deep. and new faces, old faces, not low, the new fucking tunes, the old tunes. Guys, amazing stuff. Bright, thank you so much. Thank you for gifting the sub to our beat and greet veteran. To one of our beat and greet veterans, not low. We on Drug Lord LP. All right, hey, I'll come in and talk, man. I'm hungry too. Thank you guys for being here. Another great stream. Friday we got Vide. So the 2 tunes that we didn't get to today, we'll get to that time. Glotty, we didn't forget about you. But next time. Appreciate you guys.
Girth gang, bro.
Oh, do we raid Buku again? I don't know why I just dipped out. Let's raid him. Jesus. All right. Let's try to get him on next Friday, too. Here we go. Buku. There we go. I'd follow Buku. All right, let's get some people in here. I think I faked people out. I think I was talking for too long. All right, so here we go to Buku.
Girth gang, bro. Girth gang.